Hey everybody, in this video today, I'm gonna bring you along with me for a live home inspection. Let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Ellis with Living in Las Vegas, and today joining me is Eric Maxwell, a local Las Vegas home inspector. So Eric, tell us, why is it important for home buyers to actually get a home inspection today?
Well, the main reason to have a home inspection is to verify what the home is versus what it's supposed to be. So what I do is I determine what the home should be, and then I look and see if there's any deficiencies. And typically, any of those deficiencies would then be given to the seller as a repair item. The cost of those repair items generally outweigh my fee, and so it's a very good investment.
Okay. Well, do you mind if we follow along and just see how you do things? And then we can ask questions. All right, you guys, let's go.
All right, so one of the areas we would start with for a home inspection is the kitchen. We want to look at the plumbing systems, we want to look at the appliances, we want to verify their operation. And so typically what I would do is I would go over to the stove, I'd turn on the burners, I'd turn on the oven, I'd check the microwave, check the dishwasher, make sure that it's draining properly, make sure that there are no leaks, make sure there's no plumbing leaks in the drainage system under the sink. And then I would look at the electrical systems as well, make sure that the GFIs are working properly. And once I've done that, then I start moving on. I typically start with the structure itself on the outside when I arrive. I look at the roofing systems. I look at all the windows to make sure that there's no cracks, make sure that there's no leaked gases between the panes, if I can determine that. I look at the doors and windows just to make sure that they function properly. And then I go through, I look at the mechanical systems, and just to make sure that everything is functioning properly. Again, the idea is to make sure that I give you a report that will tell you what's wrong with the home so that you can make requests of the seller before closing the sale. And hopefully that means that they'll take care of those things and you don't have those expenses. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm checking the water pressure outside of the home to see, we want to see somewhere between 60 and 80 PSI. And then if I notice that this is really, really high, but the water flow inside is very low, then that will tell me that there's potentially a problem with the piping. Like the old Kitech problems that were common in the late 90s.
Now that's something that we wouldn't see with our naked eye necessarily,
right.
So if we just did a walkthrough, that's not something we would catch.
Exactly. You would not know to look for that. You wouldn't know how to see the symptoms. That's something that we as home inspectors do. We take readings and we observe and we compare the two.
Okay. All right, let's go check it inside.
Now we see that we have really good water flow.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe, both on the hot water side and the cold water side, we have good flow. So that leads me to believe that there's no problems with the piping. We have normal piping pressure outside, and we have normal flow on the inside.
Okay, so thank you so much for letting us come along with you. I always encourage you, if you're the buyer and you're the agent, make sure that you guys show up to meet your home inspector so that he can show you firsthand what it is that he's talking about and what to look for.
Exactly. One of the things that you're paying for with an inspection is the inspector's experience. They know how to look for things and compare them to what actually should be versus what they are, and just using that experience to bring you an inspection report that will give you confidence when you buy your home that you're not walking into a nightmare.
So Eric, I know that in today's housing market, a lot of home buyers are choosing to waive all contingencies, including the home inspection. Mm-hmm. Why is that not a good idea?
Well, I'll give you an example. Flips are a big part of the market. And what happens with a flip is typically people make things look good. They mask problems, and the typical homeowner won't really realize until it's too late what those problems are. Whereas home inspections are visual in nature. We don't tear apart concrete, we don't take off drywall, right. But using our experience, we can determine where problems are, and we can help unmask those problems before they become your problem.
Yes, this is actually a huge benefit to my buyers and myself as the agent, because when we get that inspection report back from the home inspector, Eric does a great job. He's very thorough. You kind of put this risk factor in there, right? Yellow, yes. Green, and red. So that gives me an idea of what's high risk, what's low risk, and where do I have some negotiation, for my client.
Right.
So at that point, once I see his inspection report, I know that my buyer and I could sit down and decide, are these things actual deal breakers? And if they're not, how much are they going to cost you as a home buyer? And is it worth the money? Or are you going to ask that the seller fixes them before you assume the property?
Exactly. That's the whole reason for my being here, is to give you an accurate picture of what the home is so that you can make an educated decision on whether you want to buy or not buy, or how you negotiate the price to something that's tolerable for you.
That makes sense. So Eric Maxwell with Crown Inspectors is my go-to. He's honest, hardworking, and extremely thorough. So if you're in the Las Vegas area or you're thinking about buying here, please call Eric and he'd be more than happy to help you out. I'll put his info in the descriptions. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.